Hey, all you Atlas Earthlings, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying, hey, thanks for dropping by. As always, I appreciate your time, and if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and leave a like on the video if you get value out of it. Pass it around to other people you know or are associated with who may play Atlas Earth. I would appreciate it. Okay, so what are we going to cover in this episode? We are going to cover a question. Well, it's actually a couple different questions that are related to each other, okay? The question really comes down to how to make more money overall in Atlas Earth, okay? The direct answer to that is boost. Okay, so you have a couple different main types of boost in the game, and that's where the confusion comes in, especially from newer players until they get used to the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at both ways that you can boost what you make in the game. Okay, I hope your 2025 has got off to a good start in Atlas Earth. I hope you're buying up those parcels, completing your challenge ladder, whatever it may be. I hope you're making forward progress in the game. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so I'm covering this because every week I get at least a few people that ask this of me, whether it be I see the questions on Reddit, I see the questions in Discord, I see the questions that are dropped in my the chat of my various the comments of my various videos, and I answer it as much as possible. But I figured that especially for new players, I would take a complete video just to tell you how to make more money in Atlas Earth. Okay, the first way you can boost your rental income, and most straightforward way, is buy badges. Badges are located under the shop button when you're in different areas. You can buy, I'm going to reference the United States, but in different areas around the world, you're also going to have badges, and they're going to be of three different varieties. Generally speaking, like here in the United States, we have a country badge, which you will have anywhere. We have a state badge, and in different countries, it may be called something else. And then we have a city badge, which here in the States, it can be termed in various ways, and around the world in various ways. So there's three different tiers of badges, and you find them by either looking them up on the map in Atlas Earth and going over there wherever they happen to be to go ahead and buy them, or just randomly looking in your app when you're someplace new and you open up the shop tab. There will be the selection of three different badges you can buy. Now, usually most of us, there's some of us that do international travel, but most of us stay within the country that we live in. And so we're going to be able to buy the country badge once. And, if you buy your home state badge here in the United States or wherever you happen to be, it's just termed a little bit differently once. If you travel outside that United States, you can go ahead and buy, or if you travel outside of that state within the United States, you can buy the new badge within the other state or other area wherever you happen to be in the world. And then the third delineation of badges is much smaller, and that can be a city, that can be a borough, that can be a county, it can be a number of different things, but it's just a very small portion of the larger state or whatever it's called on your map. So with that said, you find that under the shop button, and then they accumulate within your passport, which can be found on a button under your main account. Now, what happens is as you accumulate badges, you go up and you fill in different sections of the passport, and you get different levels of boost. So we can see at 0 badges here, you get 0 boost. As soon as you add that first badge in the 1 to 10 badges level 1 boost section, you get 5% boost. And as you fill that section out and you get 1 badge into level 2, you get the 10% boost, and so on and so forth. And this boost, let's be clear, is a percentage boost on your base rent. Okay, whatever rent you are making at the time, you get the boost on, whether it's boosted through watching your ads, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, or even if you're not boosted, you're still through the ads button, you're still going to get this flat rate percentage increase across the board at all times. So this makes it a very good thing to put your time and Atlas bucks into. If you're following Tasty Wallet's guide, then you will see that depending upon what country you live in, it differs, right? At what point in time you stop buying land parcels and then you buy your badges to level up your passport, okay? Or you could just accumulate, and that's for being very strict with your buying and purposefully buying land parcels at one point and then switching over to buying badges and then switching back. And that plays into the whole discussion of tier jumping. But to circle back around, one of the main ways that you can increase your rent is making sure you buy badges. However you're playing the game, whether you're going to go ahead and do it in between tiers or whether you're just going to gradually grab them. I think everybody agrees, most people agree that if you happen to be going on a trip and you're going to be somewhere on vacation or for business or something or other that you're not normally there, it's best use of your Atlas bucks to go ahead and save up for that trip and buy the badges you can while you're on that trip, because increasingly as time goes along, the badges get harder and harder to find around where you live, because proportionately you have to keep going further and further out from where you live to get the badges. Okay, so that's the first way. You can get a flat boost on your earned rent at all times by filling out your passport. Okay, so the second way you can increase what you're earning in Atlas Earth is through the boost button, obviously. Okay, so for the majority of us, you can boost up to 6 hours. You're never going to get that perfect 6 hour time point, but you can get up to like 5 minutes 59 or 5 hours 59 minutes. Okay, now if you are an Explorer Club member, you can go up to 8 hours. Okay, so basically, click the button, watch the ads, you're boosted. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky, especially for newer players. How much do you get boosted when you click that button? So this comes into the whole discussion of tier jumping. If you're relatively new to the game, you hear this terminology, people talking about tier jumping, and you wonder, hey, what's going on here? Okay, so these charts can be found under the support section on the Atlas Earth website, and you can reference them. Now, there's a different chart for every country. Well, not every country, but there are different charts. So you have to reference them depending upon what your country is. So, for instance, there's the chart at the top. That's for the United States. You have the chart for these various countries that they go by. You have the chart for Mexico. You have the chart for Germany and France. And then you have a chart for South Korea and Japan. So these are charts that if you're starting to play Atlas Earth, you should look at. You don't have to memorize it. Put a bookmark in your browser and keep it and keep reference, because this comes into play in two different discussions. First of all, like I said, in the tier jumping discussion, but tonight or today in this episode, we are talking about what boost you get. Okay, so when you click that boost button, what do you get? So we will see up here and we'll go by. Okay, so I usually go by the United States because that's where I am, but hey, let's go by who's somebody playing in England. Okay, so if I'm a player in England and I look at my chart and say, for instance, I have 50 parcels, okay, and I click that boost button, I will get 20 times. Now notice the difference here, okay? This is a multiplication, okay? This multiplies your rent, whereas the badge boost is a percentage, okay? So this is a heavier weighted, okay? So the badge boost is a smaller percentage, and it really helps, but this is going to help you a lot more, because instead of, say for instance, you got one badge and you're drawing 5% boost, over here, if you boost with watching the ads, then you can get a 20% boost. Now, here's the argument here. So say this person in England is playing along and they go ahead and they buy a few more parcels and they are up to 62 parcels. That kicks them down to the next rank. And as they're increasing in parcels, they're going up in tiers. And as you go up in tiers, your boost rate goes down. Okay, so if they had 62 parcels, then they would go down to 15 times. which is a loss of money, and it goes into the whole discussion of tier jumping. And that's why if you were going to tier jump, then if you hit 60, you would stay there until you had enough Atlas bucks saved up to jump up to 100. Okay. And thereby you would bypass that whole period of going down in rent because your multiplier went from 20 times to 15 times. Now, there is a period, or there is a point therein, say for instance about 90 or something like that, that's called the break-even point. And it's different for everybody because everybody has a different assortment of rarities of parcels, right? But you could theoretically just go ahead and save up and buy your parcels to that and tier jump and bypass that whole period there where your incoming rent is going down compared to what it was prior. But that's kind of a side conversation. I just wanted to mention that here because those two items play into these charts, or these charts play into those two items. So the second way to boost the rent that you have coming in is look at your charts and make sure that you're always boosted and you're staying at the right parcel count that you want to be at for your overall strategy. Now, before we get out of this section, I just wanted to mention that something else that plays into this very heavily, and people ask me about this as well, and I'm just kind of kicking this in there. It is within the point of here. It's making more money, okay? So you may be asking yourself, so what's the point of buying more parcels if my boost multiplier is just going to continue to go down? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Well, this is where the super rent boost comes in, and currently we've got a super rent boost, so stay boosted. So as you go up in tiers and you get more land in the game, your boost multiplier goes down, which is what we talked about. But the importance of, as your boost multiplier comes down, the importance of staying boosted 24/7 on your super rent boost periods. There's two periods during the month for super rent boost, 32 hours each. Staying boosted during that period goes up, I don't want to say proportionally, but as your boost goes down, the boost rate goes down, the importance of staying boosted during super rent boost goes up, because one of the questions is always fielded as well. What's the point of buying more parcels if your boost rate goes down, right? Well, you still earn more money during the month overall. Some days are going to be lower, but during the super rent boost, you have more parcels, and your rent boost goes up to 50 times. You're really raking it in. So that's the answer. I guess that's a third question here. Okay. So, okay. Well, there you have it. Two different ways you can boost your rent in Atlas Earth and make more money, as well as a couple different side discussions on making more money by more efficiently using your Atlas bucks. If you are relatively new to the game, or if you're just coming back to the game, you might want to take a look at Tasty Wallet's guide, which I have linked in my show notes. And if you're brand new to the game and you want to make some extra money on the side just by doing basic things you would probably be doing on your phone anyway, such as playing games and doing surveys and stuff, please use my referral code in the show notes. It gets you 200 free Atlas bucks by the time you hit your 11th parcel, which basically will buy you 2 extra parcels. Plus, I get 100 of it out of it as well. So I appreciate it. And as always, I appreciate everybody checking out my videos. I hope 2025 has started off well for you. This has been Bronze Dragon. Stay boosted, and I'll see you in Atlas Earth.